Hi guys, I'm going to show you guys how to shape brows on clients that have previous work. This client of mine have red brows. She had it done a while ago and her brows turned red, so I am going to shape her brows. So when you shape brows with clients that have previous work, remember that the new shape always covers the old shape nicely. You don't want anything to stick out. This is also the reason why that you shouldn't accept just any client. If the client have previous work that is already too big, do not take the client because the only way to fix it is to keep it at the same shape or to make them bigger. And sometimes making it bigger is not a good idea. What I'm doing right now on this client is to hug her brows with previous work and try not to make them too big because obviously she likes them a little thinner. That is also the reason why that her previous work is not too big. I don't want to go too big because when she looks at it, she's not going to be used to it. So I'm just going to reshape it, but at the same time I'm trying not to give her such a dramatic change. Now I'm going to shade it in using my T2S dark brown pencil. Now I'm going to use the black pencil to sharpen up the edges to give it more definition. Next, I'm using a Q-tip to smudge out the front to give it the ombre look. Then I'm using concealer to sharpen up the edges and to clean up the lines. So what I do when I shape brows is that I shape my client's favorite brow first, and I shape it based on the bone structure and what I think is nice. What you think is nice is very important. If you look at a pair of brows and it's not nice and you think it's nice, then you shouldn't be doing this, because you'll be tattooing brows on a person's face, and bad brows can break the face. It can ruin people's lives. I know it's a lot of pressure, but it's not that hard. You are working with your client to come to an agreement of a shape that they like, so make sure the client loves the shape before your tattooing procedure. After concealing the bottom line, then I will continue to conceal the top line. After shaping my client's favorite brow, I am going to ask her to see if she likes the shape, and she loves the shape, so I am going to shape the other side of her eyebrow with her laying down. Remember that this step, you can sit the client up or you can have the client lay down. It's really up to you, but if you have the client lays down when you are performing this step, then make sure your client sits up later to check, because when the client sits up with the eyes open, it's easier to check to see if the shape are really even. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm using a thread with pigment on it already to measure the arch by placing the thread on the highest point of the brow on the brow that I already shaped, which is the arch, and I'm just going straight out to the other side and make sure that the line goes across at the same number. In this case, the line goes across at 0.7, so I made sure that the line goes across at 0.7. Now I'm going to use a pencil to measure all the points and then connect all the points later. So her tail ends at 7.8, so I'm going to mark right there and then turn her head to the other side and mark it at 7.8, slanted. Then I'm going to measure her front. Her top line starts at point 1, so I'm going to mark at point 1, and on the bottom line I'm going to make sure that it starts at the right same point. Now I'm going to measure the arch, and the line at point 1 touches the line on top at 4. So I'm going to mark 4 and turn her head to the other side and mark 4, because I know that the line from point 1 going to touch the line on top at 4, and that's where her arch is. Then I'm going to use a caliper to measure her tail, the distance from the tail to the sticker ruler, and making sure that the other side is going to be the same distance. This part is not always accurate, but you make sure that the client sits up later to check by taking a step back and look at the overall look before you proceed with the tattooing step. I'm going to connect all the points. Now I'm just going to shade it in, just like what I did on the other side. After shaping both brows, I am going to take out the sticker ruler and blend out the front with a Q-tip. After blend out the fronts, if there are spots that need to fill in more with pencil, you can go ahead and do that. Make sure you get the full look of how it will look like once it's done, so the client can have an idea of how it looks like when it's done. I'm going to use concealer to connect the bottom lines and the top lines together in the front, and then use my thumb to smudge it out so I can get to see if the fronts are even. After that step is done, I'm going to use a razor blade and take out any hair that is outside of the shape. Then I'm going to use concealer brush and concealer to sharpen up the edges one more time. After I'm done with this step, I'm going to sit the client up and make sure to take a really good look at it and adjust anything that I see that it needed to adjust and make them as even as possible before I proceed with the tattooing procedure.